Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next level tactics. From offsite and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition. Now, here's your host, Timothy Carter.
Thanks for joining me on the podcast. Today we're going to talk about the biggest cons of outsourcing a CMO. For all the distinct benefits that come with outsourcing a CMO, we'll admit that it isn't perfect for every company. Depending on the circumstances in and around your business, it might not be an ideal setup. So here are some of the disadvantages that potentially arise when you outsource the CMO role. Number one, some lack of control. Anytime you bring someone in from the outside, to manage a core component of your business, there's going to be some lack of control. And depending on your management style and personality, this could create some real friction for you. The truth is, you're always going to have the final say on a project. It's just that you won't have the same level of involvement as you're accustomed to having. You must be willing to give up, some of the control that you're used to and trust that your outsourced CMO will live up to their end of the bargain. This issue speaks to a larger point, which is the importance of hiring an outsourced CMO who is organized, trustworthy, and definitely attentive to details. If you're able to zero in on these traits during the selection process, your lack of control will feel less troublesome. Number two, resistance from the team. In many companies, there's an us versus the world mentality. Businesses can become very cliquish in their thinking, almost as if anyone outside of the organization isn't worth trusting. Sometimes this can be good, but it often spills over in some less than ideal ways. For example, your team might not immediately embrace an outsourced CMO in the same way that they would a CMO whom you hire as a full-time internal member of the staff. This resistance from your team can range from minor to serious. Obviously in minor cases, there's internal individualized non-acceptance of a CMO. However, each employee chooses to see past these personal beliefs and work for the good of the team. Then again, in serious cases, there's that collective resistance and combativeness. It's where people literally or figuratively say things like, "Who are you to tell me to do that? You don't even work here." Minor resistance might not appear so bad, but its lack of overtness may allow it to fester into something larger. Serious resistance needs to be headed off quickly, but it usually gets messier before it gets better. Again, this isn't an issue with every company. It is, however, something to take into consideration as you embark down this path. Number three, challenges in communication. Oh man, we've come a long way with communication, especially in today's marketplace. It used to be that you had to pick up the phone and call someone every time you wanted to get an update or assign a project. Then email came along, which streamlined communication in business settings. That's been followed by direct message platforms like Slack, which cut out the distractions of traditional email. However, challenges still exist. The array of communication channels sometimes make it difficult to keep everyone on the same page. Sometimes you send an email, other times you share a file via Slack, and then there are other times when you need to pick up the phone or schedule a Zoom meeting. It all feels a bit fragmented. Then there's the issue of clarity. It can be hard to fully communicate ideas when you aren't face-to-face. And because most outsourced CMOs work remotely, there are often challenges in communication, at least initially. And hopefully not as much now that we have been in this COVID pandemic for the last 9 months, where a lot more businesses are being remote in their workforce. Number four, delays in deliveries. In the world of outsourcing, the 4X rule states that it will take 4 times as long to complete a project than is quoted by the outsourced individual or company. These delays are typically due to miscommunication, lag in communication, or inaccuracies. While you probably won't experience a true 4x delay with a competent outsourced CMO, don't be surprised if there are regular delays and extended deadlines. This is just part of the initial learning process. Kind of with any job internally as well. You've got that time frame that you're training up someone. Number 5, let's wrap this up. Possible culture fit problems. When you hire a full-time CMO onto your staff, they're immediately immersed in the inner workings of your company. And in businesses with physical offices, they're quickly put into new surroundings where they must learn the culture. An outsourced CMO doesn't always get this cultural baptism right away, or if ever. Cultural context is critically important for a CMO because in order to effectively reach customers and convey value, there has to be a clear understanding of what the company stands for and believes in. These can be documented in a guide, but it's difficult to truly convey them without being fully immersed in the company culture. So that's it for today's episode. And the next one we're going to cover and wrap up this little series is, how to find the right outsourced CMO. And at SEO.co, our goal ultimately, besides providing these, podcast episodes, is to help businesses scale their organic traffic with the highest quality content and links. We do this through industry-leading link building, white label SEO, content writing, and SEO audits. You really can think of us as a critical component of your outsourced marketing team. Our primary aim is to provide value that helps you grow. If you'd like to learn more about any of our services or tools, please don't hesitate to come on over to SEO.co and schedule a time to have a free consultation. Learn how we can scale your ability to outright and outrank your competition.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.